Porzingis are questionable. It's like, what the hell? It's game 6.
I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points?
I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this sword. Greetings. Happy Friday to you all. Hope you all had a great week. Hope you all had a great Thursday night. I don't know. I think I was around break even. To be honest, I don't remember if I had a winning or losing night. My top bet hit BYU money line. Then I hit the Magic. Won some bets, lost some bets. I think I personally had a winning day, but on the website I was break even because that Kentucky live bet obviously wasn't posted. So yeah, it was a fun one. A lot of good basketball yesterday. Well, a lot of good March Madness basketball. Not the strongest NBA night. Special shout out to Orlando though for coming through. The commentated the pick. They were up 30 at half. We'll talk about the Magic in a second. We got 10 NBA games. Ski and Chris are here. Scoop's gonna come on and talk some college basketball after too. So we're gonna talk about some of the night games after the NBA. First up, Boston, Miami, and straight up, I want to bet the Heat here. I haven't yet because the entire Boston Celtics starting lineup is listed as questionable. Well, actually, Drew Holiday is going to play. But other than that, Derek White questionable, Jaylen Brown questionable, Jason Tatum questionable, Kristaps Porzingis questionable. I believe what I said last night was I would play the Heat at +8 if 2 of those 4 pieces sit. I really don't know how what else to give you without knowing who's going to be out there. I will say Miami's defense seems to be all the way back. They're first in the NBA in defensive efficiency in the last 5. So remember, it's not weird for Miami to have a good defense. We've seen that for years. Seems like the Heat defensively are coming around now that they're completely healthy. Remember, Wiggins was banged up. Adebayo was banged up. So they're healthy. They're playing defense. I think the Heat will keep this one close as long as 2 of those 4 pieces sit. If the entire Boston starting lineup's going to play here, I'm going to need 10.5 or 11 to bet the Heat. So you can put up the Heat for me, but I'm only betting this if 2 of the 4 Celtics question marks sit. Ski?
Yeah, it's too much if and I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Celtics offered a loss. I do want to back them. They've covered every game off a loss on the road so far this season. Those are the ones they usually tend to care about. So if everybody was playing, I would like that side. But I don't know. It just feels like a game that's funny, and I could find other games that I like. So lean Celtics, maybe lean over, but just leans.
Chris?
I would go opposite of you here, Kyle. I didn't bet it, of course. Like you said, it's 4 starters on the injury report. I know Miami's defense has been good against the 3, but I do think that Boston's going to be able to score the basketball. I worry, Kyle, about Miami being able to score. 28th in offensive rating. I mean, like they just the perfect play to back them was against the Clippers the other day. They came in, Clippers came in 6 games in 9 nights, still took care of business after losing to the Pelicans the night before. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, kind of feel like we need to poke Miami, see if they're still alive and breathing, because I think they've lost 4 straight, failed to cover all 4. I think Boston could win this game by margin. So that's the way that I would play it. Of course, I didn't because we have no idea who's going to play.
Next game up. All right, this is just crazy. So you got the Sixers starting lineup, right? Maxi's out, Embiid. I'm talking about the original starting lineup. Paul George out, Kyle Lowry out. Now you got the second unit, who is now playing with all these injured players. The second unit is all questionable. Grimes, Oubre, Edwards, Drummond. So who the hell knows what type of rotation we're going to see for Philadelphia out there? I don't even have an opinion. I think I said Pacers or pass. I can't express enough how little interest I have in this.
Yeah, I'm not even going to waste the people's time, man. There's just a lot more games that we can talk about. This is not a game to bet. If you bet in this game, I think you should just call that number.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're you're one of those DFS guys who can mess with the rotations and find something, but in terms of side or total, I'm good. Chris?
Damn, that makes me feel bad because I got to play on the side and the total. And I'm told to seek help. I'm messing with you. I don't.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I was just gonna add that Siakam also popped up on the injury report. So yeah, complete pass.
Let's go to the next one. I bet this game, and this is my favorite bet of the night. Favorite NBA net bet of the night here. And well, obviously I like my number a little better, but I would still play it at 4.5. I got the Clippers at -3 last night. I like the matchup a lot. The Clippers defense has been shaky recently, but one thing the Clippers defense does a great job of is not letting you get into the paint. They force you to take jump shots. They've struggled against jump shooters, but they force you to take them. This is not last year's Atlanta team. This is not a good jump shooting team at all. The Hawks from the last few years, shooting threes, they can hit mid-range shots. That's not this year's Hawks team. They need to get to the paint. So I like the matchup for the Clippers defense here. What was the other reason I like the Clippers? Where are my notes? I just had to shut my computer down and restart it. Hold on, let me reopen my notes. There was something else I like for the Clippers here. But I have this one. I also think we're getting a little bit of maybe an extra half a point because everyone's so scared to bet the Clippers on the road. I realize they'd be bad. I personally don't care. I think the Clippers have turned over a new leaf. They're winning some basketball games. They're 4-1 in their last 5. The offense. Oh, this is the other one. Clippers offense. So I know people are a little concerned with the Clippers over the last few weeks, but you look at their last 6 games, they've got an offensive rating close to 121. They are scoring, and how could we expect that to stop here against the Hawks defense? So the Clippers are going to score points. I think it's a good matchup for the Clippers defense. Now, they're on the road in Atlanta. I'm not expecting a defensive shutdown here, but they should be able to put together some stops. I got it at 1 possession. Like I said, I still would bet it at the -4.5, but favorite bet of the night, Clippers -3.
So there's a couple red flags, I guess I have, or things that I don't like about the situation for the Clippers. Obviously, I don't like them really without Norman Powell, for one. 2, they've been Jekyll and Hyde home and road splits all season long. Really, really bad on the road. 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th and 6th for the Clippers. And they're coming off back-to-back games where, last game they shot 59% from the field. Game before that, they shot 50% from the field. There's going to be some regression in that shooting. So
against the Hawks, that's when you're expecting the regression?
Versus anybody, honestly. The Clippers haven't been good on the road in general.
The Hawks defense couldn't stop Stanford right now.
Well, the Hawks have won 5 out of 6 games somehow, some way lately, right?
Put the belt up.
So
I want you to put the belt up and take the Hawks.
That is what this sounded like, Cal. I'm trying to stay in my corner over here.
Nah, I'll put the belt up against both of you. I like the Clips. I'm confident on my Clips.
Well, I'll lean the Hawks. I could halfway put the belt up just because I'm leaning, but I like the under. I bet the under. So
I don't hate the under either. It totals like a little suspiciously low for a Hawks game, but I think the Clippers are going to make some stops. I like the under because of the Clippers side.
Yeah, they play slow.
Chris?
I bet the over. So me and Ski are going head to head. We got a total belt here. I don't know what number you guys Ski, but I got it last night at 231.5, and I did take the over. It did move a couple points now, so if you got a 233.5, maybe we both can win.
234.
Okay, yeah. So it's a little wiggle room in there. 233 or 232, whatever the case might be. Anyway, I love the matchup here. I think to your point, Kyle, I think the Clippers are going to be able to score because the Atlanta Hawks haven't stopped anybody since the All-Star break. If you go through and just look at it, look at their last few games. They got to 234 against the Hornets, 233 against the Hornets, 250 against the 76ers. The Pacers got up to 238, 242 against the Pacers. I can keep going. So I do think the Clippers are going to be able to score. You just mentioned it, Kyle. Top 10 offensive rated team. Now you get Kawhi back, game in Atlanta on a Friday night, and Atlanta just pushes pace. They're also going to be able to score. Here's where we disagree, Kyle. You talked about how the Clippers have been playing really good defense at the rim, and they are they're
not really
okay.
good defense. Just they don't let their opponents take shots down there.
But if you look at the paint frequency for Atlanta last 5 games, first in frequency, 5th in accuracy, and the Clippers bottom 10 in both of those categories. So I think Atlanta's going to be able to score. Atlanta also doesn't. I think the Atlanta's going to pace up the Clippers, and the game's just going to be played at a much faster pace. And I also think the Clippers' transition defense hasn't been that great. So I think Atlanta's going to be able to get out and run as well. So I played over. Lot of strong trends towards it as well. I'm not going to read all those, but yeah, I don't like the Clippers' defense as much on the road. So I played over 231.5 last night.
Oh, this episode's brought to you by Hit It.
I was actually going to say, this episode is brought to you guys by SeatGeek. We'll get into that. And then while the commercial's going, Kyle, can you please send Vandenbosch the link?
I already did.
All right, there we go.
Today's episode is brought to you by SeatGeek, and I want to give them a shout out here. If you're looking for a spot to get the best deal on tickets to some March Madness action, got to go with SeatGeek here. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, and not just sports. They've got concerts on there, festivals. If you need tickets to an event, SeatGeek is the spot. I love SeatGeek. I'm a huge SeatGeek guy. I like how each ticket is rated on a 1 to 10 scale. You got to look for the green dots. The green dots means great deal. Red dots mean not as great of a deal. If you want $20 off tickets from SeatGeek, use the code KIRMS, KIRMS. That's $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek if you use the promo code KIRMS. And it doesn't have to be right now. You can click the link in the description and download the app, and you'll still get the $20 off later if you click this link right now. Promo code KIRMS.
The #1 ticketing app, the best in the business. Why wait? Head on over to SeatGeek, promo code KIRMS.
All right. So, yeah, shout out to SeatGeek. Next game. I just want to put it on the record that Ski is scared to put the belt up with the Hawks. Next up is Hornets Spurs, and I'm kind of kicking myself here. So last night when I was going through the games, I saw, so I don't remember which sports book it was, but I saw a couple sports book drop it from Spurs -6.5 to Spurs -4.5, and I saw one of those 6.5 still hanging. So I almost went and grabbed Hornets +6.5. Literally, not even liking the Hornets, just grabbing because it looked like they were all coming down, some like top down shit, and I didn't. Now it's at 2.5. So, yeah, I'd be holding a real nice looking ticket had I had done that. No, don't put the Hornets up. I have no opinion on the game. I don't even know what we are expecting the Spurs to look like without Fox and Wembanyama. Not that I necessarily think they're just going to be terrible, but I just think we're throwing darts in the dark here. I'm going to need a few games to try to get a feel for what the Spurs team even is with the new rotation. So I feel like I was just starting to learn what the Spurs team was with Fox. I feel like I just figured it out. Like, okay, the Spurs team, they run in transition. They're good offense. They can't, like, I was just getting a feel for the Spurs with Fox and no Wembanyama. Now you take Fox out, high usage player. No clue. You guys have any opinion here?
Yeah, you said more than I want to, even think about on this game. I looked at the schedule and I just went right past Charlotte and San Antonio. So
he said more than I even want to think about. Chris?
Yeah, nah, same. The only thing I'll add here, Cal, is that we think about Fox, fast-paced team. When you think about the Spurs with Fox and without Wemby, they're the worst defensive rated team last 5 games, right? So not playing a lot of defense. I would expect their defense to get better because they're going to play slower. So you're going to have Chris Paul back at point guard with all the point guard duties. That slows the pace down a lot. And Charlotte, already one of the slower pace teams in the NBA. This total's come down from 236.5 when I looked at it yesterday, right after we finished your show, Kyle, all the way down to 231.5 now. I think that's the right side. Probably a look towards the under, but yeah, that's all I'll add.
Let's move on to the next game. Cleveland, Memphis. I just want to be very clear. I'm not betting this because there's a narrative going around that I'm a Cavs hater, and it's wildly untrue. These allegations are untrue. I firmly deny these allegations. I'm not a Cavs hater. I think the Grizzlies are going to win this game. But I don't have the backbone to do something so bold. But I have a feeling in the next 60 seconds or so, angry comments are going to come in accusing me of being a Cavs hater. And then those comments are going to make me want to actually bet the Grizzlies out of spite because I do things like that. So let the record show. I think the Grizzlies are going to win. I don't want to bet. Ski?
Man, I'm looking at some of these trends. The Grizzlies have gone under in 5 straight. And, man, that's pretty surprising. I guess that offense just kind of fell off a cliff because both of these teams play up tempo. My first thought when I see these teams matching up is to go towards an over. I know Donovan Mitchell is out, probably why the number came down a little bit, but I still think there's more than enough guys to contribute. So I would probably buck the line movement, lean over in this game, and, kind of like you were saying, I'm not really, for the next month or so, I will continue to avoid fading the Cavaliers. After a month, we can talk about it.
Well, hold on. They're 2-4 against the spread in their last 6. Cavs team hasn't been covering quite as much recently. No, I'm not going to do. You were trying to bait me into saying some Cavs hater shit there, Ski.
Well, I'm part of the club, so.
You're a part of the Cavs hater club?
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm president of that club, according to these
I'm
comments.
not president. Yeah, you're president.
Cal COO. You're the COO, Cal. You're way higher than the president.
No. I'm not even a card-carrying member of the club. Chris?
I think I would lean a little bit more towards Memphis winning this game as well. I just kind of feel like I know that they're 1-10-1 against the number in their last 10 games, but I said this earlier this week. I think we said it when we talked about Brooklyn the other day, and I know that the number is down so low now that you really need Memphis to kind of win the game, and Cleveland has won a lot of games, but I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like Cleveland's packed it in. They're 8 games above Boston. They're not going to get caught by Boston at 55-10. So they're going to start resting players like Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell could play if he needed to play tonight. And if Jared Jackson Jr. comes back, that helps the offense a lot. So to your point, Ski, with Memphis going under in 5 straight games, because that's the way I wanted to play it as well. I was like, this is contrarian under spot. The only reason I couldn't do it is because Memphis 3-point defense has been the worst in the NBA, and we know all Cleveland wants to do is shoot a ton of threes, and they still got guys that's pretty capable of knocking out 3-point shots. So I'll lean with you, Kyle. Memphis plus the points, but not enough for me to stand on.
Next. All right. Orlando, Minnesota. Everyone's going to hate this. Give me the Magic. Everyone hated it yesterday. Magic won comfortably. That was sweat-free, start to finish, a beatdown for the Magic. I also have a small wager on the Magic money line here. Yes, I know. I like the matchup for Orlando. I know you look at the last 5 games, and the Orlando's played 1 good game and 4 bad games. But if you rewind back a couple weeks, Orlando has shown signs of getting it together. So it's not like Orlando's been shit for 2 months. Orlando's been shit for a couple weeks. It's not as big of a sample size. Played great last night, by the way. So now they go into Minnesota, and I think everyone has just forgotten what Minnesota is. I mean, the idea that people would be just blindly comfortable fading, but for laying double digits with Minnesota. Yes, they've played well. You're laying double digits with Minnesota? Do we forgot who this team is? They fumble the bag all the time. I'm kind of curious what the poll would say on this one, Prop Beaver.
The poll. I'm getting it up now, my friend.
So, yeah. Anyway, the way Orlando plays defense, the way Orlando's played defense for the last 2 years, put a ton of pressure on the perimeter. They do not let you get perimeter shots off on them. They're also first in the NBA in points per game allowed to spot up shooters, something Minnesota does a ton of. They're second in 3-point frequency. Orlando's going to take the 3-point shot away from Minnesota, force them to come inside, take contested shots closer to the basket. It's not something Minnesota likes to do this year. Minnesota in the past, that's what they like to do, not this year. I think this game is a 2-possession game. 10.5 is too many. Like I said, took the Orlando money line to plus 400 because I think it's good value. Not because I think they'll necessarily win, but I think they have a good chance to. I'm on Orlando. Everyone hates it. Don't care.
Well, I'll just mention Timberwolves. They have been covering lately as big favorites, but not all of them versus the best opponents. They've won 6 games in a row. They have the rest advantage here. The Magic. 4th straight road game, I think it is. Yeah, 4th straight road game. Second of a back-to-back for them, just not an ideal spot. But I do think they'll play hard just because of where they're at in the standings. They still have some ground to make up. For Minnesota, the one thing I do think I would like for the Magic side is, coming off of that game versus Denver, I think they really cared about that a lot more than this game tonight. So you might not get the best effort from them. So
Bingo.
I can understand maybe Orlando hanging around in this game, but I took the under, and really it's just how we view both of these teams. If Orlando is going to be in the game or win, I mean, it's not 9 times out of 10 in my mind. It's not going to be a track meet or a shootout. Orlando's going to win a slower paced defensive game. Last 5 games, 26 in pace for them, 23rd for Timberwolves. Timberwolves been playing solid defense too. I think they've been holding opponents under their team total. I know I did just win with Denver team total under. So yeah, I just trust the pace for both of these teams to be slow. Trust both defenses. Magic offense has been struggling for a long time now. I don't think it changes today. Under 208.5 is my recommendation.
And also, in addition to the game against the Pelicans, let's not forget that how many days ago was that? The 8th. 5 days ago, Orlando went into Milwaukee, beat the Bucks outright with Lillard and Giannis out there. Full strength Bucks. Well, no Portis, but a pretty much full strength Bucks team. They went into Milwaukee and beat them. So I think Orlando's turned the corner. And let's not act like we haven't seen stretches where this Orlando team is looking like the best defense in the NBA. I think they're going to take the 3-point shot away from Minnesota. Yeah, of course, Orlando's going to struggle to score. But I think Minnesota's going to struggle to score too. I like that under. 207. It's like you're killing me with that. But yeah, I agree. It should be a low scoring game. Chris?
Yeah, under was my first look as well, Kyle. This actually opened at 213 yesterday too, and I blinked my eye, it was gone. 213 is what it opened at. So I agree with a lot of what y'all said. I don't know if I necessarily agree with Orlando though, Kyle. I think Orlando can run out of gas in this spot. I know that they didn't it wasn't too taxing of a win, but I do like what Minnesota's doing. Minnesota's actually the best 3-point shooting team. You mentioned them putting pressure on the 3-point line. They are top 5 in opponent 3-point frequency last 5 games. But if the opponent get the shots off, Kyle, they go in. They're actually bottom 5 defending the 3-point line last 5 games, and that's all Minnesota. Minnesota's turned into Cleveland. All they want to do is jack up a bunch of threes. So if the looks are there, I do think that they can win the game by margin. I didn't bet it though. Lean under.
Hold on. Someone just said Minnesota might be the hottest team in the West. B. Felly, of all people. Dude, they beat Denver. Great win. It's a team they always beat. That's a great win for sure. Not taking credit away for that one. Other than that, who have they beaten? The Spurs, the Heat. They didn't even cover against the Heat. The Hornets, the Sixers with nobody, the Suns. We're throwing them a parade for this shit. Minnesota sucks, man. I actually think I'm going to win this bet now. That's because of B. Felly's comment. I think I'm going to win. Let's go to the next one. This team sucks. Oh, Prop Beaver's on the screen.
Hello.
Well, Prop Beaver, you could put up while you're getting the poll up and everything, just put up Houston minus the points for me. And my reasoning for the bet, I bet this, by the way. My reasoning for the bet, very simple. Excellent matchup for the Rockets in terms of two aspects of this game I love for Houston. Number one, they're elite rebounding on both sides. What? Rebounding?
Rebounding.
Yeah. Why are you rolling your eyes? Like rebound doesn't matter to you, Ski?
No, we know. You're on the Houston train with the rebounds.
Yeah, damn right. As you should be too, Ski.
That's a fact.
So we got an elite rebounding team on both sides of the floor in Houston against a bottom 5 rebounding team on both sides of the floor in Dallas. So in terms of the rebounding battle, it's a landslide. I mean, they should have a rebounding rate of 65% tonight. And then also Dallas, offensively, they're terrible, right? They've been terrible since all the injuries. The last few games, it kind of looks like Dallas is getting their shit together offensively. They played the Spurs twice and the Suns. You can't find a 3-game stretch of worse defense than the Spurs twice and the Suns. So now on the road at Houston against maybe a top 5 defense in the NBA, Dallas isn't going to be able to score. Do I really trust the Houston offense through and through right now? Not really. I'd like to see Steady Freddie get his legs back under him. He missed a big chunk of the season. So I'm not in love with the Rockets offense, but they should rebound and defend their way to a double-digit win here. I got minus 11.5 last night. Rockets up. Ride the rebounds. Right, Ski?
I'm not mad at it at all. It makes 1,000% sense.
Well, you were making fun of me a second ago for the rebounds.
Especially with the edge on the glass, right, Ski?
Yeah, I like the edge on the glass. I've seen it work a couple games now, so I'm in. Houston, you can put it up for me.
Because of the rebounding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Elite rebounding.
Not just regular rebounding. This is premium rebounding over here, Kyle.
Chris, are you also in on the elite rebounding edge here?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's for all the same reasons. I also bet. Well, what I did bet, I didn't bet that, but you can put that up for me. Probably. But I did bet Alfred Sengun. up and over his points prop at 20.5. So in his last 10 games, he's averaging 30 minutes and 12, I think like 14 shot attempts, but I just looked at 12. This season with 30 minutes and 12 shots, he's up and over in he scored 21 in 20 of his 29 games. And of course, he gets a lot of his points via post up and offensive rebounds, about a fifth. You mentioned it, Kyle. Dallas actually bottom 5 against post ups and points in the paint allowed. So I do think that he's going to go up and over with 30 plus minutes and 12 plus shot attempts. He's cashed 9 straight games. And I think both of the games that he's played against them this season. So, yeah, I like that a lot. 14 of his 18 games overall, averaging 23.5 points, good for 78% of the time. I took Alfred Sengun to get 21 points tonight.
A lot of putbacks, I'm assuming, though.
A lot of putbacks. I mean, pretty much everyone. Yeah, I thought about adding the rebounds too, if I'm being honest, probably, but I didn't. I just
ladder the rebounds.
Listen,
honestly.
I'm hoping he's not getting the boards because it better be Jalen Green tonight. Listen, I mean, Kyle mentioned it. Boards. Lots of action on the glass for these Houston Rockets, and I'm hoping it's Jalen Green. I got heinous CLV on this. I mean, you guys have seen me trying to step up my ladder game here a bit, and usually I've been racking up the CLV, and it has meant absolutely jack shit. So hopefully it's like the opposite in reverse here, because I got set like plus 124 this morning. You get this now at plus 162 on FanDuel. But Jalen Green, I feel like once a year, dude has just like a legacy run on the boards. I don't really know how to explain it, but he's now had back-to-back games with 10 plus rebound chances. He's nabbed 7 plus rebounds in 5 straight home wins. And the Rockets, as you see, 12-point favorites here. Since break for Dallas, we've seen guards go ballistic on the glass. I mean, we just saw Devin Vassell and De'Aaron Fox in the same game have 10 and 9 rebounds. Desmond Bane just had 16 against them. Kevin Porter Jr., a bench guard, just had 11 against them. Doncic with 15. Podziemski with 13. Alvarado and CJ McCollum with 7 and 6 in the same game. You understand the point here. He's under both against Dallas thus far this season, but you look at last year against Dallas, at the end of the season, when he was on his insane rebounding streak, he had a 12 rebound performance against this Dallas team, and he's hit 6+ against them several times. So I think this is a regression play. He's hot on the glass right now. He doesn't have to compete with Amen Thompson for these rebounds to run in transition. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and play Jalen Green on the rebounds here. If it's a blowout, so be it. I don't really care at this point.
Boards, he said. Next game.
And to the people who said I gotta stop laddering, it will stop come baseball season. I'm a normal person come baseball. I don't know what's happening in the NBA. Okay, I'm a lost soul.
He's a lost soul. He said. Lakers, Denver. Luka Doncic has been ruled out, right?
Yeah, he is out.
So in this one, same thing I said last night. It just looks like a prime spot for the Nuggets to just take their aggression out on the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers beat up on them in the last one. Now they go on the road to Denver on a back-to-back, resting everybody. I mean, the table's set for the Lakers, for the Nuggets to just beat the Christ out of the Lakers. I kind of want to take Lakers plus 15.5. That's how set the table is for that. Like, I feel like everything's set for the Nuggets to win by 30 points. It's so perfect that it makes me want to take the Lakers, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, well, 2 out of my 3 bets won yesterday, and if I'm betting this one, I'm going right back to anything Austin Reeves. Probably 2 rebounds and assists today without Luka. If they're gonna, stay in the game, it's gonna be a lot of him. So just a lean for me, but Reeves PRA.
And you put Denver up for me, Prop Beaver. I said Lakers are bad, but I don't have a bet in the game, so honestly, it doesn't even matter what you put up for me.
I mean, I just know that you said the Lakers, Denver's gonna beat the shit out of them.
It's set up for that, but like it's gotten to the point it's 15.5, and everyone's just blind laying it with Denver. I get it. I kind of feel like it's gone too far, where I kind of would lean the Lakers plus the big number now, but I'm not doing it, so it doesn't matter what you put up for me, Chris.
Nothing. We can skip it, man. I don't want to touch this game.
All right, we'll just go
I hear you on that.
Was that previous title for me or Kyle?
Oh, that was left over from yesterday's stream. Fake sharp. Nah, yeah. I think I was making fun of Toast, actually.
Okay.
We got 2 games left. Oh my God. Let's see.
Really?
The big three for Utah's playing, huh? If the big three's in,
more rebounds.
I don't
right?
even understand the logic of the Utah Jazz at this point. You're playing the Toronto Raptors in essentially a tank off, and now you're playing essentially your full starting five minus John Collins.
They got fined. They got fined probably.
They got fined.
Is insane.
They got fined probably. And also one thing I've noticed, like trying to like figure out the psychology of the Jazz, is that eventually they like to win a game. Don't put the Jazz up for me, but I'm just saying like they've lost like 8, 9 in a row, but they've been covering like 7. Now you got them as a favorite though. They've only been a favorite one time. That was against Brooklyn. They lost that game outright. So it makes sense for them to come home and actually win the game because, I mean, Toronto's probably trying to punt too, right? I'm guessing. I have no idea what to do with the game. But I'm just saying eventually the tanking teams are going to want to play hard at home specifically. And then they'll go back to losing. So if they win a game, you definitely want to fade them in the next one. That's how I kind of think about them.
I want the Raptors in jail for that Jamal Shed shit the other night. That's all I'll say.
Oh, wow, yeah. Prop Beaver was very upset about that. He had Jamal Shed over assists. Dude has 5 assists in the first half and then mysteriously doesn't play in the second half.
Not injured.
That's what they're doing with the rotations now, though. So that's why this is the easy pass for me. Like, Scotty Barnes may play 12 minutes. Who knows?
Yeah, Jazz or pass. I have no interest. Ski? Oh, you know what? Put
Absolutely
Raptors or
not.
pass because the Raptors have been automatic against bad teams. I forgot about that.
1-800-GAMBLER.
Also a good
Seek
option. Last game on the board. Am I crazy for saying I don't care about the back-to-back? I just want to take the Kings.
Nope, because I do too.
Whoa. We're not going to dismiss what happened yesterday.
Yeah, I was watching college ball. Didn't catch the game. Didn't catch the game.
Hey, Cal, Sabonis and Trey Lyles both got upgraded to questionable. I guess that's good news.
Yeah, Sabonis didn't play either. Got screwed.
Correct. Yep.
I mean,
These are
Nick
two
Richards
teams that-
also still questionable too, right? Is Nick Richards upgraded? My fault, Ski.
nah, he's questionable.
He's still questionable, yeah.
I kind of want to bet the
mean-
Kings.
Me too.
No.
What are you talking about, Ski? The other option is laying points with the Suns.
I know you're not doing that, Ski.
Well,
Oh,
if
you're
I
about
have
to lay points
choose-
with the Suns. Oh, no, I need to hear this.
Yeah, if I have to choose, I mean, it's absolutely not a King spot. The Kings playing their 4th game in 6 nights, second of a back-to-back. They don't have a good bench, so why are we going to bet them? Going up against the Suns team, who, yes, they've been playing a lot of games lately, but they have the rest advantage. And I don't even got to look it up. I'm pretty sure it's still the same because it's such a big sample size. But home favorites with the rest advantage win like around 70% of the time, maybe a little bit above 70%. And you give me all that. I mean, KD and Booker versus whoever's on the other side. Give me the Suns, man.
Ski, you're throwing words around like spot in 4 games in 6 nights. Take it from somebody who's lost a lot of money betting the Phoenix Suns. None of words like that don't matter with the Suns. You can't lay points. I would take Creighton plus 3.5 against the Suns in Phoenix tonight.
To your point, Ski, they are 4-1 straight up, but only 2-3 as a home favorite with the rest advantage. They all 5 games miraculously have stayed under the total for what that's worth. This total has come down from 235.5 down to 232.5. So, yeah, I want to bet the Kings too, though. I don't want anything to do with the Suns laying points ever.
I kind of want to bet I kind of want to throw the belt up. Ski confidently gave out Suns minus. Suns minus.
No. Don't get it twisted. This is not in my pocket. I despise both of these teams. I just hate one a little bit more. That's all.
So you hate the Kings more than the Suns. All right. Yeah, this is not in my pocket either. But all right, clear the board.
Kyle, don't you kind of feel like, I mean, Ski, you too, don't y'all feel like for today to be such a big slate? I was kind of excited like to go through it. And then when I got through it, I was like, damn, this is not like what I thought it was going to be like.
Now I have 3 bets and I'm cool with my bets, but there's just like a handful of games that are like, so there's a lot of basketball games, but in reality there's like 4 good ones.
Exactly.
But
That's
I do have bets I like. I really like that Clippers bet. I think the Magic is a sneaky little spot. What's my other bet? Oh, Rockets. I'm whatever about the Rockets, but I like the Clippers and Magic. I think those are good bets.
Don't you have
Bro, the Rock is the best. The Rock is the best bet you got.
Yeah. Oh no. It's my smallest bet. The Rockets. Dude, I'm laying 11.5 points with an offense I don't entirely trust. Is not.
Don't you have the Rockets match total over rebounds?
You also, Cal, you also got a Dallas team that's like second worst defensive rated team. So Houston team total they probably score 120 as well. I mean, I know that you need a couple games for Fred VanVleet to get going, for Steady Freddy to get going. This is the one. This is the tune-up game right here against Dallas defense.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I bet the Rockets. It's just one of my smaller bets. All right, Ski, where can they find your stuff?
Everything at Ski Profit. I'll tweet it out on X and on YouTube, etc., etc. So appreciate you having me on. I'll catch y'all next week.
Have a good weekend, man. Chris, where can they find your stuff?
Yeah, at Crispy Captain, 2 P's, 2 N's over on YouTube and X, but I'm never really on never on X too frequently. But yeah, morning show. We will be live in the morning, 7:30 on a Saturday. Wake that ass up. My son got soccer at like 9:30, so I gotta get in and be out like really quickly. Appreciate you having me on, Kyle. Best of luck this weekend. See you next week, dude.
Cool. All right, let's talk some college hoops. And you're now going to we know what Trevor's taking in this first one. He's taking the fake sharp side of Marquette. I'm hoping Scoop's about to come on the screen. Scoop being a New Jersey native like myself, someone who understands what this region of the country is all about, I would hope Scoop is going to be wise enough to take the Johnnies here. And now our graphics is 3.5. If I can get 3.5 right now, I will bet this. I don't have a bet on it right now. I want to take the Johnnies. Scoop, are you with me?
So I actually took this at 4.5, and literally the first note I had is Kyle's going to call me a fake sharp for this, which is fucking hilarious because I took Marquette.
I took
Marquette. St. John's beat Marquette twice this season, 6 at home, just beat them by 2 on the road at the end of the season. I'm taking them here. The problem obviously is this is a home game for St. John's. It's played right in the Garden, which is where they play most of their games. But I mean, I'm trusting in Shaka. He loves being the underdog. No one thinks they can hang here. Everyone will think, which actually is probably true, St. John's is going to dominate the glass, which they will. But they also have these weird offensive lulls. You saw it when we bet that Providence game. Both games against Marquette, they shot 8 of 23 from 3 altogether, which is pretty bad. Marquette's just a far better offensive team. I know St. John's is probably the best defense in the country next to Houston, but Cam Jones, Joplin, Stevie Richards. Stevie Richards. Stevie Richards is a wrestler, I think. Stevie Mitchell. That talent is there. The offense is there. They don't turn the ball over a ton. It's hard to bet, I agree, against St. John's right now, especially with them being at home. But I'm going to go with the double revenge spot. Marquette's been here before. St. John's is new to this whole being good at basketball thing. And Marquette isn't a terrible defense. They're not St. John's defense, but they still hound you on the perimeter. So I think Marquette's going to take it here. I'm going to be called the fake sharp. That's fine. I'm going to take Marquette.
Yeah, Marquette +5 for me, +185 money line. I thought Marquette would sell yesterday. They found a way to win. They're scrapped. They came back from 15 down or some shit. Got that done. I think they're playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of energy. They're feisty. They're dogs. They're junkyard dogs. They battle. St. John's, not saying they're not good, but I want to see them consistently make shots like they did yesterday. I'm not sure they will. Marquette, never dead. So you got Shaka, you got Marquette, desperate as hell, and like Scoop said, double revenge spots. So let's go Golden Eagles. I think they'll have to win this game today.
This is strikingly similar to last night on the Midnight Show where we flipped over to the Michigan State game, and I said, guys, Trevor and Toast are about to give you bullshit, fake, sharp reasons to fade Izzo. And it's the same thing.
Dude, Oregon played so damn bad, and they were playing 8-on-5 the whole game, and they still lost by 10 points. They should have covered that game.
That kind of see, I've noticed that happens when you bet a bad team against a good team. You lose sometimes. You're doing it right here,
but
Johnny's.
Regardless, everything that went into that was bogus. They should have covered that game minimum.
Okay. Next game.
I heard there was cross-contamination at the Applebee's the Johnny's ate at, and I would be severely concerned if I had a wager on them.
Oh, you were
That's great information.
Probably you heard about Applebee's gate?
No. I not only did I hear about it, but I heard a lot of things about that goes on in that kitchen. Lots of things.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm betting Johnny's right now, by the way.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, dude, your donation.
never eat at the Applebee's in Times Square.
Don't eat anywhere in Times Square, really.
How about Bucky, by the way?
What are you talking about? There's a good place to eat in Times Square.
No, it's all like tourist traps, like Bubblegum Shrimp Company. And
there's some really nice restaurants in Times Square.
And
David
don't take a
Buster's.
picture with
Bugging right
Elmo in
now.
Times Square either.
You're bugging right now.
Yeah, almost gonna touch you if you take a picture with him in Times Square.
I tried.
Next up is Illinois, Maryland. I'm on Illinois here, and I wanted to clear something up because the comments. I got angry at Scoop and Trevor during this segment of the show last night, but I wasn't angry at their pick. One second, let me just send this to the Discord. Okay, so
We
I
all
wasn't.
had Illinois, didn't we?
No, they did bet Illinois. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't angry. Like what I was angry that they said they were unimpressed and they thought the Illinois' performance against Iowa was disappointing when they won and covered a double-digit line. I think that's freaking crazy talk. So that's what I was upset about. Illinois, I haven't bet it yet. I'm down to though.
I wasn't saying I wasn't impressed that they covered the double digits. I said the problem, their concern is they gave up 94 freaking points to basically Peyton
It's a
Sanders
fast-paced game,
and
dude.
Josh Dix. I get it, but you still gave up 94. Like you couldn't have a little bit of resistance. Like you damn near gave up 100 yourselves. So that's the only thing I was really concerned about. I still like Illinois here. I think they found a little something. Maryland offense not as efficient and they don't play as fast. So I think Illinois' length and size is going to cause a little bit of issues here for Maryland. Everybody loves Maryland today. Crab 5, the whole nickname, the whole shebang. And this line hasn't moved. Everybody's hammering Maryland.
I don't think so,
love
dude.
Illinois here.
I don't think everyone's.
I think so.
I
haven't seen many Illinois tickets.
Really? People
I see a lot of Maryland.
Dude, people like the Illini, man. I'm not saying it's the public side or anything, but I think this one would be like a split one.
It might be. I'm not sure what the splits look like, but I feel like there's a lot of Maryland love going on. And I think people are selling Illinois playing a good team here. It's more of a Maryland on the road spot for me. I don't trust them away from home. So, and Illinois will have a crowd here in Indianapolis. So, Illini up, I suppose. Still don't like that team or state, but I will root for him and pull for him today.
Scoop, Kyle Kerr in the comments. Kyle, Kerr. Kyle Kerr says, never fade the Terps. Scoop knows. Is this a friend of yours?
This is not a friend of mine. I don't know Kyle, but he's absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, this one should be a really good game. It should be a higher scoring game as well because, like Trevor said, Illinois can obviously their offense can put up points, but Illinois' defense can put up a ton of points too for the other team. So Maryland does have the defense that can compete with anyone. I like them here. They beat Illinois in Champaign 21 earlier this year. They've been great. They won 11 of their last 13 to end the season. I know Illinois is on a little good run themselves, but they have been inconsistent this year. They lost by 43 to Duke, 21 to Wisconsin, 14 to Michigan State. Illinois really just relies on their offense. If they're hitting their threes, they can win any game and against anyone. But when they're off, like in those games that I just mentioned, it's going to be a long game because they can't stop anyone. Or when they played Maryland earlier this season, they hit 6 threes, and look what happened. I know, kind of like what Trevor said, Maryland doesn't have a bench. Their starting 5, though, is one of the best in the Big Ten. Derek Queen puts up numbers, 15 points a game, 9 rebounds. He's shooting like 54% from the field. Actually, all 5 of these starters are averaging anywhere from 12 to 16 points, and their defense is allowing just 66 points on per game in the year. So Maryland is the sixth best team in the best defense in the country. So, and when Illinois plays good defense, they just haven't won these games. They lost to Michigan State twice. They lost to Maryland earlier, got destroyed by Duke. Maryland and Michigan State, best defenses in the Big Ten. After that, Wisconsin, 31st in defense. They lost by 21 in that game. I think Maryland's defense is going to be too much for Illinois. I think they step up and win this game.
Yeah, I don't hate the pick, by the way. I think this is a little coin flippy, so I'm not going to go to bat with Scoop.
And the money's pretty much split, with, like you said earlier.
I mean, I think both these teams are genuinely liked. So, next up, Scoop, are you part of this bullshit? Like, oh, North Carolina's going to win easily because of the injury?
No, I mean, I'm not on that side. I'm not personally betting the game. I just think there's too many unknowns here. I mean, North Carolina in all aspects, even with the injuries, should get dominated here. I mean, Duke covered both of those games. But
thank you for saying that, Scoop.
The last Carolina game, Carolina collapsed late. and should have covered that game. It's hard to predict this matchup, but since it is the biggest rivalry in college sports too. But yeah, like I said, Duke laying 7.5. I don't really know. I think especially coming off a bad Duke win with Georgia Tech might give them a run in the beginning. I feel like they'll come out strong, but obviously the biggest thing is no Cooper Flag. So that really should limit them on both sides of the floor. And like people in the Discord say, and Trevor knows, they get very angry about Carolina when you bet against them.
I know. Why do they?
They get really angry. Carolina has been covering lately. I think they covered 8 of their last 9. They're coming strong. I mean, they are playing a lot better at the end of the season. They're not great by any means, but they're winning at the right time. Not only with Flag out, I think Malik Brown's going to be out again too. He separated his shoulder again or whatever. That's a big part of their defense. So I know Duke still has a ton of talent. They have a great bench to fill in for these players, but yeah, I don't really know about a third straight double-digit win for Duke against Carolina. So how far these teams are in talent, it should be, to be honest. Like Kyle said, I mean, Carolina's not a good team. Their offense still great. Their defense sucks. So, but yeah, like you said, Duke missing 2 players. I don't know what side to take, to be honest.
Yeah, and we already know Trevor was leaning towards Duke. He didn't like the game either, though. If I remember, he sat on the fence for like 5 minutes last night and then finally said, I guess Duke.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more closer to betting Duke here. Everybody and the brother loves North Carolina to get a win here. You know, must-win game. They played tough at Chapel Hill, and now Cooper Flag and Malik Brown are out. This is a cakewalk to a win here. They're desperate. I get it, but Duke's been a great team all year. They've got a deep bench. They've still got guys that can score and defend. I think it's a nice buy low spot for Duke. Everyone's betting North Carolina because of injuries, but next man up. I know replacing Cooper Flag isn't viable, but they still have a lot of guys on that team that can score and defend here. So I'm pretty close to firing on Duke. I probably will by tip off here. And it'll be extra sweet when Duke covers against those North Carolina Discord psychos.
Yeah, I agree, Duke. If there's 6.5 open, I might even bet it. So let's move on.
Yeah.
So I was talking about this last night. Originally, when I first looked at this one, I was thinking BYU was going to be my pick for my upset pick. I've since come around on that, and in fact, now that it's at 6.5, I kind of would be starting to teeter over to the Houston side. To be honest, I think this line's about perfect, 7.5. Houston clearly is the better team. It's just regardless of who they play, I was just saying, I'm kind of repeating the exact same thing I said last night. Seems like regardless of who Houston plays, they win by 8 or 9. So whether they play a terrible team or a good team, they win by 8 or 9. So you could just put Houston up if we're at 6.5 now, but I'm not going to bet this game.
I bet this yesterday. I bet the Fighting Mormons here, but I got it at 7.5. Houston playing with their slow pace and defensive battles. It's not like they're putting teams away recently. Colorado battled all game yesterday. Barely beat Baylor. Kansas was tough. Cincy by 9, Tech by 8, Iowa State by 9. They're beating these teams. They're not beating them by double digits. And they are beating them by multiple possessions. I agree. I mean, Houston did beat BYU by 21 earlier this season, but that was back in January 4th. Cougs are on a 9-game winning streak, man. This team's shooting really well. Nailed 18 threes against Iowa State. Richie Saunders is hot. I know they're not going to do that against Houston, but Houston's defense is better from the inside than the outside. Still a great perimeter defense, but this is where you could beat Houston from the outside. Not sure if Juwan Roberts is playing for Houston here. I think he is. And I mean, Colorado did also just put 68 against Houston, and that's Colorado, who's not even close to the players BYU has. These whites can shoot, man, for BYU. BYU won 9 games in a row. They're shooting 49% from the field in that run. I know BYU is not great defensively. They're not as good defensively, but their offense is very strong. They scored at least 85 points in 4 of their last 5 games. I'm not going to disrespect the Mormons here. I'm going to take the BYU Cougars.
Another game where I can't really argue with you because, I mean, I think it's a solid – this game will be cool. I don't have any interest in betting it. Trev, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like BYU here. I'm probably going to add it. Juwan Roberts, I'm seeing like everyone's saying, his teammates are saying he's a soldier, he's going to play, but then he's still a game time decision. The belief is Roberts is not expected to play for the remainder of the conference tournament to give the ankle time to heal. I think regardless if they win today or not, or win, I still think they're a 1 seed in the tournament. So, I mean, unless they really want that conference tournament title, I think he's probably going to sit out. Just same with Cooper Flag. Just make sure they're healthy for the actual tournament. That really matters at the end of the day here. So I'll be on BYU. It's March. Got to sprinkle the money line, plus 260 on that also. BYU's got size interior wise, and they can all shoot. They're playing a lot better. They got housed at Houston by 30 earlier this season. I think they remember that. They're gonna show out, play a lot better here. And if you can at least just step out on Uzan and Sharp and not let them take open threes, I think you're gonna really clog up that offense too. Because with or without Roberts inside, Traore's a huge dude, very mobile too for his size. So I don't think they'll have an issue interior wise tonight. It's just a matter of stopping Houston's 3-point shooters.
Next up, this is it. Money line, Mizzou. The whole world's taking Florida. No one knows what's about to come happen here. This is not in the swamp. We're in the SEC tournament, man. Neutral site. Mizzou could score on this bad Florida defense. I think Florida loses. Everyone's for some reason, everyone's just all over Florida. They beat everybody. Yeah, they've looked good lately. They're about to lose this game. Mizzou on the no 8.5. I didn't take the points, just the money line.
You should have taken the points with the Paul and hit money line too.
It's all right. This one will hit.
Yeah. Thanks for the over, Missouri. Appreciate that one. I don't think Missouri is a great team. I said it yesterday, but they did beat Florida in Florida earlier this year. Beat Mississippi State twice, beat Ole Miss, beat Kansas, which now doesn't really look like that great of a win. But team competes. I agree with Kyle. I'm on Missouri here. It's just a lot of points. I think what Toast said the other day about, I forgot what game, either Missouri wins or gets blown out by 20. I like Missouri getting this many points. I mean, they're shooting well. Their ability to get to the free throw line, they're first in free throw rate. They're drawing fouls constantly. And they're 7th in the country in terms of field goal percentage. Tamar Bates and Caleb Grill, great from range, and they run the floor better than anyone. They're 4th in transition offense. I know Florida is obviously great at perimeter defense on paper. Their defense allows less than 30% from three, but they're also 273rd in open three rate, according to shot quality. So they're getting lucky. Obviously, Florida's going to win the rebounding battle. Missouri has tough bigs like Mitchell and Pierce. So I feel like they're going to shut down Creighton for the most part. This probably is going to be a higher scoring game. Like I said, I'm not big on Missouri overall, but I think 9.5, which is what I grabbed it at, is just way too many points.
Trevor's on Florida.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to bet this one or not. If anything, maybe a team total over for Florida. I don't know what we're doing trying to get sharp and fade Florida. It's literally never worked.
We're winning. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
It has worked. Georgia.
Okay, a handful of times. Congrats, but this team's still 23
it only takes
and 8.
One time. It only takes one. Not tonight.
That's not going to be today, unfortunately. Gators should get. I don't know. I don't know. I said I'm figuring out what I want. If I want Gators, or if I want the team total. We've seen in these late game situations, teams foul no matter what, down 2 or down 11. They're just going to keep fouling away. And Florida's offense is very efficient. Missouri hasn't looked great away from home this year. So I'm not too enthused about backing Missouri if I were you guys. It's just they don't look great when they leave home. And now they're going to be in a hostile environment here at the SEC tournament. Florida fans will travel. This offense travels. They have a solid defense. I think Florida gets it done here, but one way or another, I'll be on Florida, whether it's the over or the spread.
If the three ball isn't falling for Florida, they might get beat badly. Next.
No, they got interior.
Team's trash.
1 seed over on the tournament, trash.
I got to say, here's a bet I haven't played yet that I fully intend on playing.
Is it Michigan?
No. Hell no.
God.
Why is this line not moved, though?
People liking Michigan, I guess.
Who are these freak shows out there betting Michigan? Obviously, it's somebody with influence keeping the market at 2.5. Somebody with pull
RAS
is taking. Yeah, maybe. is is taking Michigan and keeping this line down at 2.5. Is it still 2.5 right now?
Yeah, I see 2.5.
Why? I mean, obviously it's Purdue. Purdue's a significantly better team. Michigan's outperformed all year. All year, Michigan their record has been better than what they are. This line should be 5. Put up Purdue. I'm a little worried that the line hasn't moved, but I like Purdue.
Sister Jean's getting 10.5 tomorrow, by the way, to VCU. Purdue missing a free throw to lose the over. A bunch of jerk-offs yesterday. Both of these teams are going nowhere when tournament time comes. I'm sorry. Michigan looks terrible down the stretch. Purdue hasn't looked good either. Even with USC, they were tied with a minute left. Purdue looks terrible as well. I'm on the over. It should be a close one with 2 inept teams. These teams are garbage.
Inept.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with the over again, even though Purdue ruined for me yesterday. Purdue should have a better day here. Michigan's defense is really falling apart. Bad from 3, bad down low. Laurie and Schmidt should have a great day here. Kaufman Wren should be able to stretch the floor no matter where he goes. Points should be able to come pretty much no matter where. On the other side, Purdue has one of the worst 2-point defenses in the country. Actually, they're one of the worst since January. Michigan has bigs that can just take advantage of them down low. First game came down to a last-second shot by Smith, who missed a 3 for Purdue to lose. But both defenses gotten worse since the first time they played. Golden and Wolf should really take advantage of a bad defense down low. So, yeah, I'm going to go with both offenses against both really below average defenses right now. Both games this year went over this number. I think that's going to happen again. So I'm definitely on the over.
Trev, you were on Purdue too last night, right?
Yeah, Purdue money line for me. I got -140. Kicking myself. It was -120 for about 2 minutes overnight, and I missed it. But Purdue -140 for me. I think Purdue's ability to force turnovers and Michigan's inability to hang on to the ball and not just give it away 20 times a game is going to really screw them here. Purdue should get some runouts here with Braden Smith and Lawyer forcing some turnovers. I know interior-wise, defensively, Purdue's not good at all, but Danny Wolf's a turnover machine. They love to let him have the ball in his hand.
That's true.
And I don't get it. Like, he's good with the ball, but he makes too much mistakes. But whatever, it is what it is. I just think Purdue's offense, their guards are better. I do think Braden Smith and Lawyer are better than Donaldson and Gale and whatnot for Michigan. So I'll trust the better guards. I don't think Kaufman Wren's going to be in foul trouble. I mean, I'm sure he'll catch some fouls, but I don't know if he'll be in foul trouble like he was last night to where he had to be off the floor for stretches at a time here. I think Matt Painter knows what to do. They've smashed this team, and they did lose in Michigan, but that was a good spot for Michigan. But they've smashed this team. They can have the success again. They're going to have the building. With this being in Indianapolis, it's going to be a pro Purdue crowd. So it'll basically be a home game for Purdue. So give me Purdue on the money line to get it done. Michigan's just going to turn it over far too much to even have a shot late in this.
Next up, well, I know me and Trevor on Creighton because we talked about it last night. Toast of all people was preaching UConn. It's a bad pick. It's down to 3.5 now. So the person whose pick we don't know is Scoop.
I didn't bet this personally. You got to think Hurley just screamed at the kids at halftime yesterday. Really turned that game around for Nova. And I mean, Creighton, yikes. DePaul should have won that game. Of course, Kyle gets screwed on the money line again. What was it, like plus 500 that game?
Plus 575.
575. I would lean UConn. Tire legs for Creighton looked absolutely terrible. They did come back by 15. Good for them. I think they had a 1.8% chance at KenPom at their lowest point. This UConn team is a better offense, a better rebounding team, and Creighton played their starters a ton with that game against DePaul. Kalkbrenner only set out 3 minutes, and Neal played the whole game. The thing with Creighton, which I guess you guys can say, I mean, they're 8-3 against UConn. I think Creighton split their season with UConn, but in that one game, UConn had injuries. Ball, Diarra, McNeely, all were on the injury report that game. I'd still would go with Storrs South. Not going to fade good old Bobby Hurley right now. I don't like UConn, but Creighton had a weird team all year when they're on, and Kalkbrenner plays up to what he's supposed to. They're one of the better offenses. But Creighton's schedule down the stretch, I mean, they played DePaul twice, Georgetown, Seton Hall, Butler. They haven't had a tough game since the back-to-back losses to St. John's and UConn. So I would lean UConn. I don't want to bet either of these teams.
Next. Oh, we know you're on Creighton, Trev, but a quick summary of why.
Yeah, Creighton, they played horribly last night, still found a way to win. I know it was DePaul, but they still found a way to come back from a big deficit there. And then UConn, they were kind of they were trailing actually to Nova for about 25, 30 minutes of that game. And then Nova just collapsed. When your best player goes 2 of 16 from the floor, that'll do it to you. I don't think Creighton's going to have those offensive struggles, and they just got a massive scare last night. I think they come out ready to play tonight and get revenge for that home loss against UConn.
Yeah, and my opinion is based on how these teams just looked in the last game. I think that's shifting line from a 2.5 to a 3.5, 4. I think because Creighton almost lost to DePaul, a team perceived to be bad, and UConn looked pretty impressive in that second half. That it's like, oh, lay 3.5, 4. When in reality, like it's just one game. I think if we rewind as recent as 4 days ago, we would say these two teams are pretty close. And then maybe UConn -2. So I think that just a little recency bias in the number should be less than a possession. Scoop's wrong. Toast is wrong. We're right. Next.
And we can also hope that Hurley just bitches at the refs and they kind of screw him a little bit late with the whistle.
I could see it.
What the hell is that? Is it an alarm?
What the
Are we
fuck
under
is
attack?
that boy yelling noise?
Shit.
Oh shit! Is it a nuclear bomb?
That's
coming
my
on?
phone.
All right, good. Thought I had to go into Fallout shelter.
We know. Trevor took Arizona. By the way, when you get the pull up, you can put that up for him. I took Texas Tech last night. Scoop. Actually, Toast and Trevor were having a good argument about this one. I think it was. Or no, it was me and Toast maybe. So they were saying that this line is weird, but I disagree. I think this line's about right. If you factor in that Texas Tech just sustained a few injuries or one key one or whatever it is, you can put Texas Tech up for me, Arizona for Trevor. Is that player for Texas Tech definitely out? Was it Williams?
Darian Williams. Let me look.
He was questionable last night. Either way, I'm going with Texas Tech again from yesterday. I said this team will win the Big 12 tournament. I'm not backing that away from now. The last one and that one miss from the 3 from Baylor killed me with Neal hitting it yesterday. Otherwise, they would have fouled. I probably would have covered the 5.5, but it is what it is. Arizona beat Kansas, great. But Texas should be able to take this. I think. I actually think this line should be 3.5, 4.
Me too.
I don't care where the money is. Should be higher. This should be higher scoring.
I agree. If it wasn't the injury is key though.
Yeah. They split the season 1-1. I mean, Texas Tech shot 25 of 64 from the field yesterday, 39%. But they were still hitting 44% from the 3. JT Toppin was JT Toppin. He had 26 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. He was awesome. Still, Arizona's 4-5 straight up the last 9. And they were 3-6 against the spread in that span. Both teams are going to have good offensive games, but Texas Tech has just a way better defense. Toppin is the best player on this court. Was the best player in both games in both Arizona games. He averaged 20 and 15 in those 2 games. I don't think Arizona has anyone that could slow him down. Perimeter shooting, one of the best in the Big 12. Arizona can't shoot threes like Baylor can, and more importantly, Arizona can't defend a 3 at all. So I think Tech's going to come out strong like they did against Baylor, hopefully hold on to this one, close it out, and then they're going to beat Houston or BYU in the final.
All right. Trevor, you said you liked Arizona. Did you end up betting it?
Not yet, but I will. I was waiting to see if it would go up anymore. It's down to 1.5. I'll take the 1.5 anyway. I don't care. I think Arizona's going to get this done. They had a big win last night. They have interior presence. They have shooters across the floor. Now, yes, they go as Caleb Love goes, but it's March, so I'm going to bank on the Caleb Love effect entering the equation here today. And Texas Tech shot lights out from 3 yesterday. They were like, 12 of 15, 12 of 16 from 3 to start that game. They were up 15 at half, 12 at half or whatever, and then they still almost blew that game. So I don't think they're going to shoot as hot as they did. With or without Darian Williams, if he plays, he can easily get banged up or re-aggravate whatever injury he did get. Taking him off the floor, and the second he left the floor yesterday, that the team kind of started to fall apart. Yes, JT Toppin is amazing. He can take over a game, but everybody hit everything yesterday, and they still squeaked out a 2-point win down the stretch of the game. That's why they played 40 minutes. So had that game been 41 minutes, you get a Texas Tech L, I think. So I will take Arizona here, plus the points, and I will hope that it's a 1-point game or Arizona win.
Let's move on to the next one, which is my favorite college basketball bet of the day. And Number A, it's my favorite college basketball bet of the day. B, I get the fade scoop. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I get my favorite bet of the day and fading scoop in this all in the same interaction. Life is good.
It's like it's your wet dream, man. That's what it's all about.
I wouldn't call it my wet dream, but
Usually you dream about me. It's usually wet.
Give me Louisville money line plus 110. Don't need the points. Keep them. Louisville money line plus 110. Oh, is it? Oh no, it says plus 105. All right, cool. So yeah, Louisville money line here. What are we doing with this number? Louisville has one shaky game against Stanford, which A, they ended up winning anyway, and B, they played them in 2 consecutive games. They played them and then played them again 4 days later. So Stanford just saw Louisville. It's kind of tough to get up and beat the shit out of a team consecutively, the same exact team the next game. I'm not reading anything into that Stanford game. And if you take out the Stanford game from yesterday, what? Louisville's the dog here against Clemson? This is the better team. And then you add on the fact that Clemson's 6th man, the guard, is out. I think he's the 6th man, right, Trevor?
My dog can get 5 points. It doesn't matter.
It's not 5 points. It's 20.
It is. He averages 5 points. He's not great.
It's not Chase Hunter. It's his brother. I believe it's his brother.
It's his shitty brother.
Hold on. Let me look.
Yeah, no, it's not Chase Hunter.
No, it's Dylan Hunter.
Dylan Harper. Yeah.
He averages 23 minutes a game. He's the 6th man on the team.
And he sits there like Mikal Bridges does for the Knicks.
Dude, Scoop, if you know anything about basketball, 23 minutes is a significant chunk of time in college basketball.
Sit there. Anyone can sit in a corner and just play with their balls. I don't understand.
I would lay 4 with Louisville with that kid in. You take that kid out and you're give me plus 110. Say less. Favorite college basketball bet of the day. Go ahead, Scoop.
Clemson would be plus 1.5 if he was on the court. Now he's out and he's actually the favorites now.
He went.
That's how bad he is. That's how no one cares that he's actually in the ball game.
All right.
Yeah, I'm on Clemson. Both of these teams, I think are lucky to be here. Could have been SMU and Stanford in the semifinal. I think Clemson's the far better team. One of the best teams against the spread this season. 20-12. 15-5 against the spread in ACC games. I just like this Clemson front court so much better than Louisville. Shiflin and Lakin should be able to get down low and put it to Louisville most of the game. Thing with Louisville is they just struggled against a bad Stanford team. I don't care what you say. Stanford sucks. At least SMU has a chance to make the tournament. It has an extremely good offense. Hunter's better than Hepburn, the good Hunter. And I really feel like they're going to be able to shut down Louisville's team overall. They have the ability to defend the 3 really well. And like I said, they have the inside advantage for sure. I think this team is an all-around better team on both sides of the ball. They also led the ACC in forced turnover rates. So, yeah, love Clemson here. Love the size advantage they have down low. I like the guards that are available that are better than Louisville. Also, the fact that Louisville loves to run the break. Clemson's one of the best transition defenses in the country. This is the Clemson game all the way. Minus 120 on the money line.
Wrong. Trevor, teach Scoop about ball.
Well, one, I do these basketball segments mainly with Toast, and what he just said may have been one of the most ridiculous things I've heard.
Insane.
And that's tough. Hepburn is not better than Chase Hunter. You think Chase Hunter's better than Chucky?
Oh, yeah. Chucky sucks.
Oh, my God.
He hasn't watched.
Louisville's such an overrated team. It's ridiculous.
Overrated? They're mollywopping people.
They're
mollywopping.
Yeah, you're mollywopping ACC opponents. Congratulations.
Clemson's doing the same thing.
Okay, so call Clemson overrated then.
Scoop's wrong here.
No,
this isn't even debatable.
The only reason Clemson's favored is because Louisville dropped that Duke game. Louisville was up double digits on Duke. Fully healthy, by the way. At home. It was early in the season. Ever since the conference play started, they are mollywopping teams. They lost to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech got, kind of figured it out here. Clemson is only favored because they have a win over Duke. I don't care. This is a Louisville spot. Louisville money line. Fuck those 2 points. We don't need them. This is Louisville outright all day.
Favorite bet of the day. Favorite college.
You know what? I hope that I lose by 1, just because of the points.
Next.
That'd be diabolical.
Kentucky, Alabama. I had said Kentucky money line last night, and I meant it. You could still put that up. I haven't bet it yet, though. What are you guys' thoughts? You can't lay a big number with a team that don't play no defense.
Do any of you have the balls to bet the over in this one, or?
I talked about that this morning. I was like, I feel like we got to take an over. Fouling like out the ass. Nobody plays defense here. Although I will argue for Kentucky a little bit. No Jackson Robinson, and I'm guessing no Lamont Butler. People are probably going to love Alabama, but I would still lay it with Alabama over Kentucky here today. And then I like the over more personally. I think there's going to be buckets everywhere. No defense. Both teams can shoot. I don't think. And the last time these two played, what was there? 185, 190 points. So I get it's a neutral, but it still feels like it's a crazy high total. Like I feel like some people are going to be drawn to the under with just how ridiculous the total is. But I think we get close to like 190 points here at least.
Yeah, it should be a ton of defense in this one.
Oh, are you taking the over?
No, I'm on Kentucky. Tempo's going to be extremely fast. First game was 199 points. Second game was actually 179, right around there. This game's like an NBA All-Star game. I'm a coward. I'm not touching the over. This was 177.5. I might have got it then. Now there's 180s. Kentucky lost by 13 and by 5 this season against Alabama. Oh, they did it again to Oklahoma again. They're lucky they got away with a win yesterday. The only way either of these teams wins games is really by shots falling. I think Kentucky competes here. It keeps it within the spread. I'm not very confident in that, but with Bama's pace, this game can go on this game can go on a 10-0 run either way. It doesn't really matter. This game is going to be about runs on both sides. Kentucky can play with these upper echelon teams. Dictionary word, good for me. They played 8 ranked. They actually won 8 ranked games this season. As much as they can't stop Alabama in both of these games, the way they just played yesterday, they're used to the arena. I think they'll get a hotter start than Bama. Alabama did lose 2 of 3 to end the season. I think both teams are really vulnerable, obviously, defensively. This is why it's just going to be a back-and-forth game. It should be a fun game to watch. Kentucky has the size to stay with Alabama for the most part. But, yeah, I took Kentucky just because I think 7.5 is a lot of points here.
They're baiting for Kentucky.
I know.
So
I took the bait.
As far as tonight, no midnight show. The Pump Fake guys will be going through the entire slate, though. So if you're looking for content tonight to go through the slate, head over to the Pump Fake pod. That's Trevor's show. They'll go through every single game on the board. And then tomorrow morning, we'll be back at 10 a.m. and we're going through it all. The full slate.
22.
Yeah, 22 games, yeah. So we're going through it all tomorrow morning.
I'll actually be here.
Oh, you're going to make it?
Yeah, man.
All right.
I can't miss March Madness. What are we doing?
All right. So, yeah.
I'll be here for Thursday and Friday next week, too, on the 11 a.m.s or whatever we're doing.
Awesome. That's sick. Yeah. All right. So then tomorrow, 10 a.m., we'll all be here. Yeah. Thanks for watching.
I own a points and money line.
Yeah,
man. Trevor, me, and Tillis. It should be a fun
one. I know. We have enough, and it's only 22 games. So if we start at 10, we can do 4 people and make it. So let's have a good night. If you're in the league, you have 1 hour and 48 minutes to submit. I mean, if you're in the Republic of Chad division, don't bother. I'm up 5.5 units. It's over. But there are other divisions that are still
doing pretty well. I'm like 4th, and I have 3 units. And I'm still in 4th.
I know your division's a battle. But all right, have a good one, guys. Later.
Later,
guys.